This is one of the most shocking, but not surprising, interviews ever to come out of the political arena. This will reshape politics more than anything we've ever seen. Republican Representative Paul Gosar from the great state of Arizona is now suggesting that the Obama administration had indeed weaponized the executive branch in pursuit of partisan political purposes. Congressman Gosar came to this conclusion after reading a classified 4-page memo which was composed by Republican Congressman Devin Nunes from California. Nunes, who chairs the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence, claimed that in the memo Gosar described serious abuse of executive power as a habit across the Obama administration, the Justice Department, the CIA and the FBI. The memo is yet to be released to the public. Gosar linked the following Obama-era operations and events as prime examples of a pattern of the highly partisan weaponization of the executive branch by Obama and his lackeys. The Fast and Furious gun-running operation, the handling, response and cover-up of the September 11, 2012, Islamic terrorist attack on the diplomatic compound in Benghazi where 4 lives were lost including that of our ambassador to Libya. The IRS's targeting of dissident charities and non-profits such as the Tea Party, and the surveillance of persons connected to Donald Trump's presidential campaign and Donald Trump himself. Partial transcripts below. Answer: I want to pivot really quickly to this infamous #release the memo hashtag about the memo that the House Intelligence Committee chairman wrote about, explaining what was going on with the FISA warrants that were issued by the Obama administration. Can you tell us? I know that you've read the memo. It hasn't, obviously, been released to the public. What can you tell us about how this memo came about and what's in it? Gosar: well, this memo is a summary of emails and traffic that has been picked up by the intelligence and judiciary systems. Some of it is exactly what you may have seen that has been exposed to the sunlight already. Other things may not. But what it basically does is, that, if you don't think that Fast and Furious, if you don't think that Benghazi, for the lack of accountability, if you don't think the IRS, and if you don't think the unmasking has something to do with the weaponization of our Department of Justice and our intelligence services, think again. Answer: wow. Okay. What is the likelihood that this memo will be released by Congressman Nunes? Gosar: in our conference, there is a heated debate about when, not if, and we want it out sooner than later. The American people need to see this. There are other things associated with it because this is just the tip of the iceberg. It names names, and those names, they should be owed their day in country, but if it is what's presented, there are some heads that need to go to jail and not come out for quite some time. Gosar reiterated his description of the aforementioned pattern of partisan political weaponization of the executive branch when asked about former U.S. Ambassador Samantha Power's requests for unmasking American citizens' identities captured via FISA surveillance operations, among whom were Trump associates. And he added, Polak, let me ask you this, there were some reports over the last year, and we actually were part of reporting this, that there were a number of individuals in the Obama administration who had requested the unmasking of the identities of Americans who were swept up in foreign wiretaps. And Samantha Power, the former ambassador to the United Nations, who doesn't really have a national security function, had conducted a large number of these unmasking requests. Are we going to learn more about that? Are we going to see into the operation of the outgoing administration and why they did what they did? Gosar: Joel, I'm going to be very careful. I'm not an attorney, but if you don't think that Fast and Furious, if you don't think that Benghazi, for the lack of accountability, if you don't think the IRS and the unmasking are tied together with the weaponization of our Department of Justice and political advocates, think again. Polak: wow. So this could relate back to those controversies, as well? Gosar: here's the thing. If you look at Fast and Furious, Joel, this was about one of the most precious and most instrumental aspects of individuals to hold the government accountable, having the Second Amendment. If you can take that, if you can lack the accountability that popped up with Benghazi, where you didn't protect American citizens and those in harm's way, If you can target your opposition with the IRS and then you can unmask them with anybody and then spread that information, not just unmask them, but spread that information to all other agencies and top brass. Now, what you've got is the beginnings of a banana republic. That means that you have an autocratic demise to the democracy and to the republic and hold your political foes to their detriment. Listen to the interview. This is what happens when the American people get suckered into electing a nobody who came out of nowhere as their president. All because of his skin color, nothing else. Barack Hussein Obama is a man who has never even run a lemonade stand until the day he decided to run for office. And he never stood out in anything other than knowing how to read a speech well enough that the liberal population in our country could fall for him unconditionally. And now we learn he is what President Nixon could have only dreamed of being. Please share if you want to see the Obama administration investigated. Follow us on Facebook at Freedom Daily.